Waking up to worms in Twin Bridges. I arrived in Twin Bridges about the same time Nick Chiazza and Joe Zimmerman did. They were going source to sea on the Missouri the same year I was going down the river, not quite as far. And my good friend Norm Miller from Livingston was with them. We hung out for a couple of days at the Montana Children's Center in Twin Bridges, where my good friend Leslie Adams was looking after my canoe that I brought up there the year before. I had to do some touch up on the canoe, so I arrived early, and I was very surprised by what I saw. That's the tree the bow was tied to, and that's the tree the stern was tied to. And that's the one behind that one. So, canoe held up pretty well. She's got a little roughness to her here. I went to pick up the bow, and in the weak spot that had been so troublesome with the double ring check here, this pulled right off. I'm going to be able to patch it. I'll be able to get it back in there, and it's above waterline and all that, but I got to deal with it. This side has been troubled before, and it shrunk up a little bit as it dried out, and it separated, pulled itself away from the patching material here. So from the resin that I had, I even had nails in this side before, but yeah, she definitely pulled. You can see this. It is what it is. That bow's been troubled with the ring checks from the very beginning, and I'm going to do what I got to do to fix it. The rest of the canoe looks awfully good though. We haven't done a virtual tour in forever with Knotty. Let's do it. Bow to stern. She looks awfully good actually. Stern's held up very well. Totally solid. The oil on the outside of the canoe and all over the canoe is held up very nicely. It's a little dry in spots, but I'm gonna fix that. But it's actually held up very well, and the wood feels good, and she's holding up nicely. The mosquitoes are rather troublesome. They've been all over me yesterday and today, and the moisture obviously helps. So they're very, very bad out here though. But Knotty the Dugout Canoe, everybody. We're almost ready. Well, after a lot of walking around and a lot of wrenching, I've gotten Knotty's ready to get patched. I had to let her dry off in the sun here. But this morning, I worked all morning on the cart. This is the rig that's going to carry her over the dams. Around the dams, actually, not over them. But anyway, I got this long piece of wood here to stabilize it and to strap around underneath the canoe to keep the wheels in line. We had issues with that last year, and that is the modification that I needed. Hopefully, that's all it is, and she'll be carrying the canoe with the gear. That's my rig that I absolutely rigged. But it's a good little cart, I think. We'll see. I finally put in and twin and headed on down the Missouri. I had almost 2,500 miles to go to St. Louis. Headed down the Beaverhead to where it meets the Big Hole and becomes the Jefferson River. And I was trying to conserve some battery in my camera, and I wound up having a little incident with it in Waterloo where it became waterlogged.
I can't tell you how awesome this canoe is. She stayed upright. She took a little bit of water, but there's hardly any, man. She stayed upright through this, people. Okay? I just came down here, hanging onto her stern until we got to the rocks. Then I let her go and she stopped and held for me while I climbed around her and repositioned myself, and then I knocked her loose and she just came right on down here. And I know this backwater over here and we're going to take a break. Holy shit! This is Waterloo, and I've never seen it like this, yo. Holy moly! This is crazy water here, yo. Woo! Canoe, canoe!
This is my camp in Townsend, and that's right, I am actually filming here with the Fuji. Miracle of miracles. Guess what worked, people? The bag of rice. That's all it takes. Bag of rice. And she's back. And thank God, man, because I missed too many good shots in the last couple days. This is a good camp. I'm drying out. We got here kind of early. I don't know, 4 or 5-ish. And but I got talked into sticking around. And this is a beautiful spot. And I'm going to go see if I can find York. I've been told by I believe a reliable source that this is where Captain Lewis found some black snakes in a snake den, and this snake den is still here, and this is right by the boat ramp in Townsend. I gotta get on the water. Look at it out there. It's beautiful. Let's get a quick look at Knotty while I'm doing this. Using up my battery now, but the camera's working. I'm just overjoyed, and I'm gonna find a way to charge it when I need to. But there's Knotty, and she's just about loaded up. And we are ready to go. Look at this, huh? Isn't that beautiful? Look at the river. We got the mountains in the background. I gotta get on the other side of the island here, but that's where the main channel is. More mountains everywhere you look in the distance. But not, the clouds are out there, and Lord knows I'll probably get hit, but we're gonna get some good paddling in today. Well, there's an eagle right here. I just missed 2 pelicans crossing my bow. Good morning, Wobbly. I'm pulling a 180 here in Knotty. This gives you a good look at the river, though. Looks like I'm already coming up to the lake. They told me it was 20 miles down, but this ain't but a couple miles from where I started. Hello there, Eagle. Good to see you today. What a beautiful river, huh? Look at this. I'm floating backwards down the Missouri, mind you, but I believe I'm coming out to the lake up here. It sure looks like it's opening up. And that means I'm going to have a whole lot of wind. Sounds like a crane. There's a lot of cranes, a lot of pelicans, a couple eagles. There's a pelican flying right there. Anyway, I gotta start paying attention. Yeah, they said 20 miles till the lake. People don't know their mileage anywhere on the river. I've made that clear over the years, and it's just, you know, constantly reinforced. I'm here. There's no doubt this is the lake coming. Here we go. Well, I'm confident at this point I can break out the camera. I'm heading across Canyon Ferry Lake, and but I want you to see what I just came across. I came across from somewhere way over there, and there's a whole lot of fishermen at the mouth of the river, or well, where it comes into the lake here. I don't want to get messed up now that I'm pulling out my camera. I'm close enough to shore. I feel good about it. But this is Canyon Ferry Lake, folks, and I shot straight across a pretty good beeline to get to this right bank. I didn't want to double back and circle around and add the miles, and I got lucky. But I'm gonna get to shore because there is a storm coming that way. I can't tell if it's coming or going. It looks like it's coming. But these big clouds here kind of miss me, and the wind has picked up a few times, and I'm not going to take my chances here. I'm going to get back to shore. I was piddling around over there, and I crossed this point over here, over to here, and the wind came up, and I got over just in the nick of time. But I'm smarter than that. I ain't going out in that crap. I'm gonna let it blow over. This is all from the storm that's been kind of paralleling me, but not quite hitting me until now. But you can see it coming down on the mountains over there, and we're getting the tail end of it. This is just the outside of the storm. I think the wind will die down shortly, but I'm not gonna mess with it. There's no need. I'm not in a hurry. Knotty's doing awesome though, and those beautiful pieces of wood. I've got ideas about her bow, and I think you're gonna like what I do. You gotta know when to get off the water. You gotta know. I'm here to tell you that's some nasty stuff out there. It looks like we got like 2 and 3 foot rollers anyway, and that would do Knotty in at this point with her bow the way it is. We would have swamped, there's no question, if I got caught out in that stuff. That's why it's so dangerous crossing these lakes. And I did cross it, but I did it at the right time, and lucky me, I didn't have to deal with this. I mean, look at this, we have actual waves coming in. It's awe-inspiring, really, if you think about it. I mean, this, just a little wind, and the lake turns into a monster. And the thing is, yeah, the current's not there, so this is all, you know, you paddle. You have to paddle. You're not going to find the current out there. You go where the wind blows you, or you paddle against it. And this is how it is. Well, look at this. She washed up another nice curved piece of wood. Huh. Interesting. I may have to look at that. I swear this is getting to be more like the Jersey Shore than it is the Missouri River. Look at this. And they're swamping her a little at a time here. I can't keep her. I mean, she's out of the water as best I can. And pointing into it a little bit, but there's nothing I can do. She's getting a little swamped. I'm gonna have to bail her before I get going, and it may be a while. So I'm having my fabulous double-decker peanut butter and jelly. And we're gonna wait it out. Look at this, will you? These are waves coming in here. Well, there you have it. Knotty's swamp just sitting here. Those waves were huge, and of course I still have that crack, and that happened to be facing them. But it doesn't matter. Look, it's coming right over. It just doesn't matter. These waves are huge. So I'm gonna let her stay swamped until this is all over, and then bail her out. I had to pull all the gear out. I'm leaving the water in there. It's helping her stay anchored, I think. And hopefully the bath was a good. Unbelievable. Look at this. This is how a canoe gets swamped, okay? Now, of course, she's not pointing directly into the waves like I would be on the water. But that's what it's like out there. If you don't point right into it, or ride it directly behind you, if you get at an angle, you get swamped. That's it. I do know these things. That's why I'm standing here dry. more or less. Watch my canoe get a bath. It's, if it doesn't let up, I camp here tonight. That's all there is to it. I've got shelter. These are the two curved pieces of wood that I'm looking to use to fix the problems up in the bow of the chunk, and to raise her up, give her a little more of a prow. And this little slingshot looking thing may be the very top of it. I just found that while I was here, and I found Wilson along the way as well. So that's my water bottle, but I just want to make sure I don't forget these pieces. Not likely to after this experience, I can tell you that. On the river you got to improvise, and I took one of the straps for the cart and got really wet getting her under it, but I got it wrapped around Knotty, and it's going to save that gunnel. I'm not worried about the gunnel now. I'd like to get another in the back, but she's pretty much up on the rocks there, and I was having trouble digging under. I did get a spot though. It's a fair way in, and I think it's good enough. I'm very confident that the gunnel won't break now. And if it does now, then oh well, there's nothing I can do. I can't tell you how worried I was about it. We'll save her. Knotty's a rock star, and I've got some plans to make her stronger, and I will. I got busy and I made a shelter, kind of a lean-to kind of thing, not entirely covered, and if it rains I'm going to throw my rain fly from the tent over the top of it. I'm just drying out the tent right now, but I'm going to roll it back up. I want to have stuff pretty much ready to go for the morning. I'm going to cook a little extra and eat it for breakfast, and leave some coffee, some cold coffee for breakfast. And hopefully, if the wind is down, I will get this canoe. Anytime the wind goes down, I'm going to bail her out. But so far, no luck with that. As you can see, the waves are just still coming. Craziness. This is craziness, people. Look at this. This is what Knotty's enduring all day long. Hopefully she doesn't get hit too much from the other side. The strap's holding her tight so she doesn't expand outwards. But there's not a lot I can do about the inner part right now. I may try and cram a stick in there. That's actually what I will do. But I doubt it'll stay with these waves. Anyway, but this is a fine little shelter I made here, and it's actually quite a wind block, as you'll see. Just like that, there's no wind, and I dug out the rocks up in there, and I think it is going to be actually rather comfortable. I have my PFD underneath my mat. It's probably going to be the most comfortable bed I've had so far. But there's Wilson. I found him just before we got stuck here, and I feel like a castaway right about now. And this is a memorable camp, no doubt about it. All those rocks and all that debris in front of Knotty have been pushed up there from all the wave action. There was virtually nothing there before. Look at these waves. And yeah, I mean, fortunately, actually, they're going to act as breakers, and I think my camp is going to be safe. But it might not. I may have to go the other side of all this stuff. I hope not. Boy, Knotty's at a weird angle now. I don't like this at all. I can't do anything about her positioning either. I can't do anything about it. I just tied another strap on. I I put a stick in between her gunnels and it seems to be holding, and that's a good thing, because that's I don't know if it'll hold for long, but it's helping with the pressure she's getting from the side there. That's a little bit of pressure. Well, just as I'm getting comfortable and getting situated, it looks like they're raising the level of the lake, and I gotta pack my shit up before it gets wet. So I gotta move to higher ground. Unbelievable. I just worked all day on this shelter and now I gotta move. Unreal. Well, my beautiful little shelter is very close to getting flooded. The good news is I got Knotty bailed out. She had her bow up high enough and she wasn't getting waves for a minute. I bailed her out and moved her to higher ground. But the thing is, it looks like they're raising the level of the lake. Looks like it's coming up. It's either that or it's just the big waves, but either way, I had to move. So I'm waiting last second to do the water judge because I'll have to dump them to get across here. Look what I had to cross. I mean, potentially it wouldn't come above this thing, but if it did, it would breach this thing, and then I'm screwed. And so I had to go all the way up over there and had to cross all this crap here to get there. There's no other way. There was a nicer way down that way, but I can't get to it now. So yeah, a day in the life. Any thought of leaving here quickly is gone. I don't know how long it took me to move that gear up there, but I'm beat. I've done a lot of work today, and all for naught so far, except for paddling here and taking care of my canoe. And Knotty's doing good. As you can see, that thwart's still in there, and I had to move the ties because they were down towards the front here. I moved them to the back of this one thing that's in there pretty good. And if the water came up enough that it started looking like it's going to breach this wall, I'd go ahead and hang on to her and wait for it. I don't know what I'd do. I just had to deal with it. And I may have to yet. This has been a crazy day, man, let me tell you. I'll be really surprised if that shelter stays where it is. Actually, to be honest with you. Look at the beating it's taken. But it's probably full of rocks, that's my guess. You can see Knotty's got a bunch of rocks in the back. I left them in there because I wanted to document that, actually. There you have it. Well, the wind's kicking up, but I have a much better spot for the evening. There's some trees for shade, although there's some stagnant water back there, so I might not go over there with the skeeters. But I may, because there's wind block and my tent will hold up there. And my tent has screens, so I came from somewhere way out there. I can't even figure it out from here. It's been a long way. Still got ways to go. I can't see the dam yet, and I'm not going to get up high enough because there's way too much cactus around here. Look at all of it. It's everywhere you look. Everywhere you look. It's pretty neat though. Some of them are starting to flower too. Pretty cool. This is the largest anthill I've ever seen. I'm having a wonderful dinner with beans and rice with some peppers and onion and garlic thrown in there. I was hoping to catch a swarm of gnats that keep surrounding me. Every time I break out my food, they seem to swarm. And but not so much right now. There's a few. I wound up passing on the other camp that I thought I was going to do with the ant hill, and went to Duck Bay, where I met a bunch of people up there and had a wonderful camp. The next day, the lake laid down and turned to glass. It was absolutely spectacular. I had some wonderful scenery along the way, and even ran into a few boaters. A couple of them asked me to just hang with them for a little while, so I did. I finally got to the dam and ran into Will Garvin and his lovely wife Philomena, and Ron Luke and Bill and a couple of young boys, and they helped me load the canoe and take it around the dam so I could get over to the river section again and on to Hauser Lake. Downriver Knotty.